Hello and welcome to Rallying the Forge. I'm your host, Sol. Hello and welcome to another episode of Rallying the Forge. I'm Solimer, and we're going to kind of do a little community update video here. So hopefully this won't be too long, but going to touch on a bunch of little things. Starting with Tooth and Claw. Touched on in my last video a little bit, but so these are special dinosaur themed packs. You can get a deck. You can only get Utera or Tempest. You can get any deck from set 1 to 4, and then what'll happen is it'll bring in some dinos into the decks. And it seems like the minimum Dino Synergy type cards is 3 that you're going to get at a minimum. That can be a spell or spells and dinosaurs. And then if the deck naturally had stuff, it's just already there. So you can buy boosters. You get 2 Utera, 2 Tempest decks for 200 Embers. You can buy a single deck for 60 or a Phantom for 25. They had 2 additional deals where you can get a playmat and a booster for 300 Embers, and then you can get an emote and 2 decks for 150. So I'll show you those real quick. Here's the playmat that you can see when you play in the game, and that's what it would look like if your opponent had it as well. And then we have the emotes, the RAR, the Tyran RAR there. So you can get those. Those are good deals. It's basically 100 for the playmat, 50 for the emote, and then you get the regular decks at the regular cost, value-wise. Again, don't know how long this is going to be going on for. We expect it for a few weeks at the very least. I'm sure they'll announce before it's going to go away that it's going to go away at a certain date. But I would expect at least through the end of the month we'll have where you can buy these decks. We don't know if this is going to be something you can get down the road or not. So if you're interested in these decks, I highly recommend buy them now. I don't know that I have... If I could spell, I might have one. So you've got... This is one of the new legendaries, Astraxian the Cloudbreaker. It is a Tempest legendary dinosaur. In theory, it can betray into Utera, and you can see its ability there. It deals damage to all creatures, and then when your dinosaurs are dealt non-combat damage, as such, you deal that much damage to the enemy player. So this can be really, really strong, especially you get to level 3. 5 damage to all creatures. Your dinosaurs, if you have a board full of them, that could be 25 damage to the face of your opponent. So really nice. And the shard back here can also do additional. So there's some good things there. I don't know. Let's see if this one has it or not. This does not have the spell. Mongosaurs. It's Mongosaurs. Okay, so there's a new spell. Mongosaurs Rampage. So again, Tempest-based, can betray though. You give one of your creatures, and it's level gated, at least at level 1, plus 3, 5, or 10 attack. This turn it gets breakthrough. If it's a dinosaur, the next time it deals damage to an enemy player, it deals 5, 7, and double damage. So, could be a really, really nice card. Definitely nice on with a breakthrough creature getting that bonus attack there. Then we'll look at Utera's. Utera has a new spell called Velocis Pack. And this is give a creature, 2 creatures, all your creatures +3/+3 at each level. And then up to one of your dinosaurs battles an enemy creature at level 3, it strikes 1. So it's kind of like a different version of Vine Lash, but dinosaur directly themed. So that can be nice. And then we have their new legendary Raycor Horned Sovereign. So this has breakthrough at each level, and then when a creature, any creature, with higher attack than this comes into play, you double this creature's attack. So you double his attack, so he starts at 2. You put something out with higher, or your opponent does, he doubles, and he doubles. He doubles until he dies, essentially. And he's got breakthrough, so it's really nice. It can be a dangerous threat. Your opponent has to be aware of that and pay attention to it to not harm themselves. These decks, these new legendaries, they're really, really good in campaign. So if you haven't done campaign in a while, or never done it, or you've completed it all, no matter what, I recommend making a Dino deck with some of these new decks and going in campaign. And you can do a lot of fun things. The computer does not understand these mechanics yet. So really fun to blast up the campaign trail there if you need some extra wins for your achievements with various Forgeborn. Might be an opportunity to do that. So Season 1, of course, still in full effect. And buying these packs will help boost your score by spending Embers, of course. But that's pretty much it on Tooth and Claw. There is going to be a Dino event of some nature. Let me see. No. Let me find that real quick. There is... this is my problem. I don't know... We don't want that. We want... Okay, we saw that. Got that. I don't know where the post went. I saw the post. Maybe I'm missing it. Or maybe it's here. So there's going to be a Dino event, nonetheless. I can't find the X post. I don't use X a whole lot, so unfortunately it's just a cluttered mess. It's not organized by any normal person's means. It's a disaster. I hate X. My dog went in. So my dog wants in. She's forcing her way through. But there's going to be a Dino event, Dino decks only, and you can win badges. So you can get in-game badges. We don't know what other rewards are going to be with it, but obviously you hope. There'll be some other rewards, whether it's event tickets or you win gold or whatever. But yeah, so we'll get rid of that. All right, so that's Tooth and Claw stuff. That's all the Dino stuff I have. Kind of segueing into... Still sticking with it, but kind of segueing into events. This Saturday, the Saturday Sealed Showdown returns, and it is Dino themed. So if you're looking for some sealed play or cheap Dino decks, $5 entry fee, you get a booster. It's going to be a Dino booster, so you can get 2 Tempest, 2 Otera. You're going to make a deck out of those 4, and you're going to play. And yeah, so cheap Dino decks, sealed Saturday. It's normal time, 4 Eastern. Convert for your time. As always, you can check the Discord for that info. And then other events going on this Friday. We have the AusForge Team Event. You get what you give. Teams got to select a Forgeborn for their own team, and they got to assign one to another team, depending on how that shook out. So the players have to use those two Forgeborns in their decks. So it'll be interesting to see what people come up with for that. And then, of course, the big announcement dropped yesterday. The Shadows over Solis Championship. We already knew that was coming on the 24th, but we did not know the details of the reward structure and whatnot. And that is still subject to change, of course. So let me switch to Discord for that. And I will read off about Lucas's post. I think it's also on the event page in the same fashion, perhaps. So you must use a silver or gold deck. Of course, this is a gold event, so that's why it requires that. Only half your deck must be silver or gold, not both halves. Players are going to be playing for a prize pool valued at $10,000. So this event is on the 24th. I'll have a link to this event in the video description, so you can go register if you want to partake, if you have a gold or silver deck. First place gets $5,000 in either SFG or Embers. To get the SFG for any of the prizes, your decks, both halves of your decks must be minted. So $5,000 in Embers is 100,000 Embers. 5,000 in SFG could go up in value, could go down in value, could be cashed out for hard cold cash. Whatever you decide to do with it. Second place gets $2,000 worth. Third and fourth get $1,000 each. Fifth through eighth get $250 each. And then everyone will receive a badge for participating, and the top 8 get their badges based on placement. So pretty standard there. And then he's got how the event will run. That's going to be a standard. It's going to be a standard event. Other than the line I skipped here was, right now it's listed as a single elimination bracket with each round being a best of 3. That means if it was, I think the max they have on there is 64 participants. If it maxed out, it would be 6 rounds to determine the winner. Basically, you'd have 3 rounds before you had your top 8 left, and then it would go down from there 8, 4, and 2. So that's how it's listed, although there's been a lot of discussion in Discord about changing that, why they're doing this format versus their standard format of Swiss with a top cut. And it sounds like it's going to change to Swiss with a top 8 cut. So we'll see how that plays out. It's looking like the top 8 may be best of 3. So it's going to be potentially some extra time depending on how that works out. But yeah, it's fluid still. So until the event day of the event, I wouldn't count on anything. It could always change. I know a lot of people did not like the idea that it was a single elimination. You could play one match and be done for the entire day. And people would rather do a Swiss and lose 5 matches and play 5 matches than play 1 and lose and be done. So there's that. So this is a huge, huge event. This is the most money they've put up for an event. The season rewards, of course, are going to be $100,000 in value, and no one knows how they're distributing any of that yet. So there is that question. But there's a lot that goes into this event. With so much money on the line, people want to make sure things are working. They're going to post a bug list on Discord on the 20th. so 4 days before the event, and we're hopeful that they fix some of the current in-game bugs before then and patch some of that stuff, because some of the bugs are really bad. Some of the bugs can cause you to crash your client, or you get critical errors in the middle of a match. It's really, really bad. So we hope they have it fixed before the event, and they likely will push out a patch. Almost positive of that. So this is the biggest. This is bigger than Worlds as far as prize support. We're hopeful that this will in turn mean Worlds will get some good prize support. I'm no way in expecting $5,000 for the winner, but even if they did like $1,000, cut a check or something, that would be really, really great. But nonetheless, so this event is going to be bringing out the best of the best. I will be streaming it. I'll be streaming my matches, recording them. Going to be trying to get other people's matches. I will, if I make top 8, of course, I'll have my recordings. If I don't, I'm going to try and record matches of other people so we have them and kind of have them for historical purposes, be able to put them up on the YouTube channel and whatnot. So always try to do that. And even if I am, I'll still try to find a way to get recordings of the other matches. I don't want it just to be my matches, but I can only record one thing at a time. So we'll see how it goes. I'm hopeful to make top 8. I don't know what deck I'm going to play yet. I'm down to 2, and I just don't know at this point. One of my decks is kind of nerfed with the digital changes to how cards work, where you can't hit your own creatures for certain things. So that's a problem. I can work with that still, but the other deck might just be more consistent, and it might be better for me to make top 8 with it. I just don't know, though. I really just don't know. So it's going to be a lot of good decks. Who knows? I could bomb and go 1-4, 0-5. That's always possible, too. So, it'll be what it is. I'm really excited, though, to get in that super competitive environment, and just hoping for the best. So we'll see how it goes. Nothing else really to say in regards to that event, I guess, at this point, until they make an official announcement that they're changing it. I expect everything else to stay the same, other than the format's probably going to change to Swiss plus top 8 cut with best of 3 matches there. And then you can see, of course, there are other events. The Upside Down every Wednesday, he's got them posted. AusForge is going to have a silver event the night before the gold event. So if you don't have a silver deck, or you want to use a different deck but it's not silver yet, come participate in that event. If you get top 2, your deck will be silvered. So it is a last chance. I know they're also doing Mondays. It's early in the U.S. I don't know if it's 5 or 6 a.m. U.S. time, Eastern anyway. They're trying to do second chance silver events to give people opportunities to silver more decks. But that's only if they get 9 or more people. So otherwise they're bronze events, in which case you need 3 bronze top 2 finishes to get a deck up to silver. So if you're looking to get a deck to silver, come participate in these events. Help everybody by upping those numbers and making them silver. If they don't hit the 9, they go down to bronze, and it makes it harder for people to get silver decks in that case. So trying to help people who don't have silver decks yet get opportunities to do that. Also, even if you do, you might have a chance to silver a different deck if you want. So, or you can test your current deck you might want to play in the event against other good decks. So lots of things there for everybody. Hopeful that some of those events stay silver and get some more silver decks for people. But only other thing I guess I have to note, the Saturday Sealed Showdown, I believe this Saturday I said is going to be Tooth and Claw decks. I believe the weekend after the championship is also going to be Tooth and Claw, if I'm not mistaken. I believe Gaw just put that out. So at least those 2 weekends will be Tooth and Claw decks, but we will see how far that extends. I guess it'll depend on participation, if people like it or not. So again, cheap sealed Tooth and Claw decks. If you have some or don't have some or want some, whatever the case may be, good opportunity to get some. So sign up, come play with us. I know I said I wasn't going to do sealed, but because he's doing these, I will come for the decks. I've got plenty of set 4, so I'm not interested in those. But Tooth and Claw, you might get something pretty ridiculous. There are some really sick decks already out there that we've seen, some double Thundersaur type decks. We haven't seen a Betrayer of the Legendaries yet, but that's a possibility. That would be pretty awesome. And some Rex and Patriarch decks together. So there are things out there that you could never get before that you might be able to get now. So, yeah. Come join us. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have for current events. I'm trying to think if there's... I feel like there's something I'm forgetting, but I don't think there is. I talked about the event coming in Client. We don't know exactly what that's going to be about, but you have chances to earn badges, one for participating, and if you win, whatever that may be you'll get a badge for that. So that's pretty cool. It always is nice. But, yeah, so that's the community update. I don't really have anything else. I guess I can go over... I'll do this just real quick. I wasn't planning to, but I will. Let me switch to Discord. I'll touch on the team event for AusForge happening this Friday. Everyone who is... If you don't have a team, join the AusForge server. Ask for a team. You'll get assigned a random team. If you're on a team, I hope that you guys sign up and play for your team. But we have the Darkforge Ducks. I'll read this whole thing that I wrote up the other day. The Forgeborn draft is complete. The stage is set. The sparks are flying. Each team has forged their identity, not just through synergy, but through destiny. With Forgeborns chosen, and in some cases thrust upon them, alliances are locked and battle lines drawn. Let's meet the contenders. Darkforge Ducks, Nixnekia and Crux Cobalt. The Ducks have hatched a pairing of ruthless recursion and relentless resilience. Nyx will manipulate the grave while Crux bolsters defenses and throws wrenches into enemy plans. A sinister duo for a team with something to prove, and maybe a little revenge to serve. Fellowship of the Forge. Oros and Ironbeard. The kings of control and value, Oros brings overwhelming force and relentless tempo, while Ironbeard adds reinforcement after reinforcement. Whether it's a Drix machine or a brute force battlefield, the Fellowship is marching forward like a forge-fueled juggernaut. Who dares stand in their way? House of Dragons, Tundra and Nova. Fire and nature, chaos and growth. House of Dragons has paired 2 of the most explosive Forgeborns in the realm. Tundra brings the pressure, Nova brings the scale. If they can channel the storm instead of being swept up by it, this team may just scorch their way to the top. Controlled Burn. Circe and Tyron. Circe's dark cunning and Tyron's raw set 4 unpredictability make this a wild card team. Forced into this pairing by their friends at Darkforge Ducks, they've got something to prove. Limited options? Maybe. Limited ambition? Never. There's power in defying expectations, and they just might light that fire. Left on the bench, Sunder, Korok, Toxis Mori, Steel Rosetta. 4 legends unclaimed, but don't count them out. The battlefield will remember those who were overlooked. So who takes the crown? Will the Ducks' calculated cruelty overcome all? Can the Fellowship's engine of dominance roll unchallenged? Will the Dragons finally rise up and rain chaos on us all? Or does Controlled Burn flip the script and ignite from the ashes? The draft is over. The war begins now. Let's see whose Forgeborns truly answer the call. And that is going to be AusForge's team event Friday, U.S. time. It's Saturday in Australia. But sign up, bring your decks. Let's battle it out. Let's see who wins. This is exciting. Looking forward to it. And So I guess I'll finish on that note. I appreciate everyone, and hope to see you guys in some of these events. I'll be participating in a fair chunk of them. But yeah, looking forward to it. Hope you guys enjoyed the update. Get those decks, sign up for those events, and let's play some matches. Take care. This has been an episode of Rallying the Forge. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.